Welcome to the channel, folks. Today, I'm going to work on my M5. Guess what? I saw a leakage and I need to fix it. I'm gonna start with the valve cover gaskets. Let's get to it. All right, folks, you have no idea how many takes we had on this, but what we are going to do today, because of a small leak on my M5, you're gonna have to replace all of this. And the first thing we are going to do is replace the valve cover gaskets right here. Passenger side, driver side, the grommets, and the engine valve cover washer seals, all right? So we are going to do this first. Let's get to it. All right, folks, take a look at how much space now I have to work in the engine. I still have a lot of things to take away, but just taking the air filters out, it created a lot of space that allows me to work around the valve cover. So the next thing, which I already took this one, is to take the air mass flow sensor plug. You gotta be careful with it. You don't want to break it. Since this is an all car, everything breaks, right? I already unloosened the clamp, and you had to take the cable from the air mass flow sensor, which has a clip right here under here and another clip right over here. So if you come over here, you can see the clips. If you don't do that, you can pull everything away. So these two clips, just unclip them right here and then just slowly pull it away. All right, folks, this is one of the reasons why I'm changing the valve cover gaskets. Look at all the oil right here. Look at all that oil. It's coming from here. See that? And this is the grommets that I was telling you I'm gonna have to change, which is about 20 of them all throughout. And all that oil, it came from there. Or it could come from here too as well, but I think it's mainly from here. All right, let's get to it. Next, we are going to take the air cabin filters so we can have space around here to work. Otherwise, we don't. So I'm gonna have to take the whole entire air filter housing out. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so since I took out the air filter housing, both sides, and the cabin housing, both sides, now we have plenty of space to work on the engine. And the first thing we need to do next is take the plenum out. And there's a bunch of bolts all throughout that I need to take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bolts. Don't lose them. They're very expensive, but you need to replace them. I think it's over $60. So since I took out the air filters from the left and right side, the house and everything associated to it, and then the same thing for the cabin air filters, now we have plenty of space to work on the engine. So let's go ahead and take the plenum out. There's a bunch of bolts. Make sure you don't lose them. These are the type of bolts. If you lose them, they're very expensive to replace. I think they're over $60 each, so don't lose them, all right? Be careful with them. All right, folks, now we're going to be taking the plenum cover out. Be very careful with it. Don't scratch it, don't drop it. If you break this thing, it's over $1,000 to replace, just the cover. There we go. And there you have it, folks. That's where the magic happens. All right, now that I took all the bolts out, which is a ton of them. There's a row of bolts here. There's the bolts here for the flutes right here too. Flutes? What do they call that? Flutes? Flutes, right? Just since it's been a while since I haven't done this, it was somehow glue. So you just push it from here, you push it from here, and you unloosen it. And now I need to unhook all the hoses here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hoses that I need to unhook to take this out, right? I unhook all the hoses, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I unbolted everything, so now let's take the plenum out. And there you have it, folks. There was a lot of stuff I took apart here. a lot of things. If you come over here, let me show you. There's a bunch of parts here. There's a bucket with parts in there, and there's parts in the other side of the garage. It's a ton of things, and I still have to take more. I think I'm gonna have to take these covers out, and the reason why is so I can have visibility to here. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I need to do that or not. It's coming. I gotta eat lunch, folks. I'm hungry. All right, folks, we took a lot of stuff out, and we still need to take a lot more stuff to change the valve cover gaskets. One gasket is here, that goes all throughout around, and the other one is in here. So let's go ahead and unbolt these bolts. Before I do that, you know what? Before I do that, let's take the battery cable out, because we need to, before I forget, we need to take that out. This is how you charge this car. You charge it from here. You have the capacitor here and just clip it anywhere where it's grounded. All right, so let's take this out. All right, so let's take this one out. If I lose these bolts, I'm screwed. Oh, that was close. Too close for comfort. There's a washer here as well. See this washer? Cannot lose it. Alright. And I bought the washers for these covers as well. Not that I need it, but I went ahead and buy it. So there he goes. And take a look, folks. This gasket, it's already broken. It's a good thing I'm replacing them, huh? Check it out. So this is one of the covers out. I'm gonna be replacing this grommet, 2 grommets, and the gasket. And these are the coils, 4 coils over here in the spark plugs. We're gonna take the coils, because we have no other choice, and the spark plugs, and while we are there, we change the spark plugs. All right, let's get to it. Next, since we're doing all of this, we're going to change the spark plugs. Here they are. Let's get to it. Now that we took the cover off from the spark plugs, we need to take the coils, and there's a ton of bolts to take the coils out. So let's just take this one first, and let me show you how that is done. Once you're gonna forget about these tools, then it's gonna drive me crazy. All right, so take this. You know what? Let me get the magnet, because if this sucker falls, I'm gonna be very upset. So I'm gonna take the coil number 5 out. I'm using the magnet because I don't want to lose the bolts. It would be crazy to figure out where the bolts are afterwards. So let me just get a screwdriver and pop that out. All right, this in theory should pop out like that. Let's see. And it's not popping out. There you go. So once it's out, you can push it out. I think that's how it used to be. And guys, this is very brittle. So you need to be extremely careful with this. There you go. All right, see, there's the ground wire here. So now that this is out, we should be able to pop this out. This should be easy to pop out. There you go. So this is number 5. Remember, this is number 5. I need to put this one over here. I need to put it in the same order I took them out. As I'm taking the coils out, you need to remember that there is 3 grounds believe it or not. And one of them is this one right here, which is bolted with this, right? This bolt right here, one ground. There's another ground right here. See it right there? Right there. And there's another ground right here. See if you can focus in there. See what I'm talking about right there?
I think I got it.
All right, so that's key. And now you have this rail right here that is also held by 2 bolts that keeps together the coil cables right here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to unbolt it, take the rail out, and then take the coils. What you do, you just pull this metal piece up, and once you pull it, you push the coil cable out. And now, once you take these 2 bolts, you push the coil up, and there he goes. All right, folks, we took all the coils out, which is not super hard, but it wasn't that easy either. It's only so much space you can work with. And there's a lot of ground wires, by the way, so just be aware of that. So the next thing we're gonna do now is just to take the valve covers out, and we're gonna do that now, which is a ton of bolts as well. So let's get to it. All right, folks. Here is the valve cover. It was a job and I had to take it apart, but nevertheless it's out. It's difficult, but not undoable. And by the way, this car was built in 2002, end of 2002, sold in 2003, right here. So this is the gasket we're gonna replace, and this is everything we had to do to take this sucker apart. And if you come over here, Joe, you can see that it was leaking from the bottom. You see it? Right there? Right there, all throughout there. So it was leaking through there. That's where the culprit is. So now, you need to clean it and put a new gasket. While we are here, and we took everything out, including obviously the, what do you call these things? The coils. Yeah. While we are out, since we took the coils out too as well, this is the perfect time, honestly, to change the spark plugs. I mean, we have plenty of space to do it, so might as well. I'm gonna change the spark plugs now. All right, so let's get to the spark plugs. All right, since we took the head gaskets and covers, it makes it nice and easy for us to replace the spark plugs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the spark plugs and then continue with the rest. Let's see how the spark plug looks. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. Take a look. But might as well, let's put new spark plugs. I like to take one spark plug and put the other one. I don't like to take all of them at the same time and then just replace them so stuff doesn't fall in, just in case. So just do one at a time. Be gentle with it as you put it in. Tighten it with your hand. Okay, that's tight enough. I don't know what's the torque specs, but I'll get them for you in a second. Give me a second. I think I have it written down. 17 foot-pound of pressure. 17 foot-pound of pressure, okay? For the spark plugs. Well, they're actually burning okay. They look pretty good. Honestly, they're not that bad. But now it's gonna have new spark plugs. Yeah, baby. And the spark plugs that I'm using are BKR 6EQUP 3199. 3199. check it out, check it out. All right. As I said before, do it with your hand, not with your wrench. Bring it all the way in. Make sure you don't strip it. And once it's all the way in, then you torque it. 17 foot-pound of pressure. Okay. Now, this one over here is going to be the pain in the ass. Not anymore. Okay. Done. This bank is done. Now we need to do the other side. All right, folks, we are ready to put the valve covers on. And in order to do that, we have to replace all the 8 grommets here and 3 in here. If you change the valve cover gaskets, replace the grommets because you will have oil leaking from them if you don't do that. You got to do that. So what I did, I cleaned them up. I mean, I can show you here the 4 that I already cleaned up and set up. And it's ready to go. We'll put them in the car and it'll flatten up. It actually will shape into place, okay? And these rubber gaskets for the head gasket in the front are different from the top, right? And these were a pain in the butt in the behind to put together. You had to squeeze them in. So this is the new one, and let me show you an old one. Let's see. Look at that. New one, old one. You need to cut this one out, take it out, and you squeeze the new one through here, which you have to put a lot of pressure to put them in. Okay? So you have to replace these as well, which are different grommets than the top of the head. All right? Let's get to it. Let's put them in the car. All right, folks. We went ahead and finished the valve covers. To replace the valve cover gaskets, it was a challenge. It's doable. Obviously, it's easier to be done when the engine is out. It's not meant to be done while the engine is in the car because of the limited space, but we went ahead and did it. So for the driver's side valve cover gasket, key item, key thing. This piece right here, utilize to pull the engine out, is if you don't unloosen it, if there's 2 bolts right under there, if you don't unloosen it and move it out, it's almost impossible to fit the valve cover in with the gasket in. Remember, the gaskets are in the valve cover. And as you put it in, sliding it in, it falls because we keep touching everything. So this is key for you to unloosen it and move it out or take it out to put the valve cover, okay? So this is one of the major critical items right here. All right, so the valve cover for the driver's side had its own challenges, obviously. And that is to fit the valve cover like in an angle like this and push it in without touching anything. Remember, you have the valve cover gasket in the valve cover with, what do you call this? Gasket seal, and it's touching everywhere, so you got to be very careful. Joe helped me with both valve covers. He held one end, I held the other one, we pushed it in, we juggled it around, and we're able to put it in, okay? Obviously, the spark plugs and the spark plugs need to be out in order to do all of this. So the more you take, the easier your job is going to be. Last thing about the valve covers, okay, and this is critical. Remember, you're putting a gasket, attaching the gasket in the valve cover. And depending on the movements and how much you move and how much you're trying to put into place, it might come off from the valve cover and not sit properly. That's a huge problem. Check, double check, triple check that the gasket is completely on in the valve cover and sitting correctly, because if you don't, you're gonna have leaks like you wouldn't believe. So you need to have a mirror. Just get a mirror with a magnet and go all around your valve covers and make sure that you have a complete seal before you start tightening them in. This is critical. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a nightmare in your hands, all right? So do the same thing for both valve covers. Go with a mirror around or a camera around to make sure you have the proper seal, all right? All right, let's get all this together and let's move to the next step. All right, so key items when installing the spark plugs. Obviously, you had to pull the coils out. So this clip, you pull it up, you slide it out, and the coil comes out, and then you can replace the spark plugs as we showed you earlier. Key items here, there is 1, 2, 3, and 4 ground bolts. You need to make sure as you take the coils out and you start unbolting the coil packs and the grounds, so you can take the coils to replace the spark plugs, that you take pictures and remember that the grounds are put in place. If you don't, you're gonna have failures. You're gonna have big issues, all right? So take pictures before and after you take it out and make sure that it's all complete, because there's a lot of steps taking the coils out, okay? So now the coils are in. I'm gonna put now the spark plug cover, and this side of the engine is done. I already completed the other side, and this one is done. So now we move to the next step.